Hello there. Here are 2 essential habits that will improve your writing significantly. I don't think you've ever heard it this simply before. So, let's get right into it. If you guys are new here, my name is Eric Donoski. I race 250A, Pro-Am, and 4-Stroke A, and 250B at Loretta's. I've seen significant increase from riding in middle pack of A class to winning the Pro-Am race at the beginning of this year with these 2 simple habits. It's quite interesting because riding a dirt bike is a very intuitive thing to do and a very unintuitive thing to do. Have you ever had your rear end start wobbling all around like this, or while you're going through whoops, it starts to get real sketchy on you? Well, the reason for that is actually opposite to what you're thinking. It is not because you were too far forward and there was less pressure on the rear end. There's too much pressure on the rear end. Your body is too far back. The best option to fix that is to move your head forward. They will exponentially increase your skills and abilities in riding a dirt bike. It's because that the skill graph on almost all skills is an exponential graph, where the pros are all the way up here and A class is right here. C class is here, so the gap to get to C class to A class in skill level and in time investment is not a lot. This also seems like an unintuitive way to go about discussing how skills work and how our classification works, where C class is at the beginning, B class is in the middle, A class is at the end, and then you have pro all the way up here. It makes no sense. But if you think about it, all skills work like this. When you get to be good at a skill, it's not really because you've excelled at it or you've spent a ton of time into it. It's because you've learned the basics of doing it. That's where you get to B class. C class is usually those people. It's supposed to be those people that have no idea what they're doing. It doesn't always happen like that because C class is the easiest class to win because of that sole reason. B class, however, you have the people who have learned the basics of riding the dirt bike, and that is why they are in B class. A class is those that have put in a little bit more effort, a little bit more time, applied themselves in a couple techniques, and they have excelled from this okay to this, okay, we are good now. Going from okay to good requires, I don't know, maybe a few months worth of work, a few months worth of dedicated specific technique training, speed training, where you're getting comfortable with going as fast as you can. That's where you start playing with bike setup, is when you kind of get to A class. This is where we see the unintuitiveness come in, because C to A is a big jump. A to Pro is an even bigger jump. Let's use lap times for a second to discuss this exponential growth in needed skill and invested time. My dad's lap times when he was in C class, racing on a 5 or 6 minute lap, rested around a minute and a half slower than I was. Say I was at 5 minutes, Dad was sitting at 6 minutes and 30 seconds. The pros were racing at 4-minute lap times, an entire minute ahead, if not more, than where I was racing. It's twice as much effort to get to from A to Pro as it is from C to A, because C to A is just learning how to go faster, like just getting comfortable with speed, and it's just a couple techniques, and that's what I'm going to talk about. We're going to talk about the couple techniques that can bring you from C to A. Very simple things. You guys got this. Here you go. The first one is just get your knees behind the foot pegs. Always. Always have your knees behind the foot pegs when you're standing, and when you're sitting, just sit straight down, don't sit forward. That's it. That is it. You'd never believe that that's it, but that's it. Knees behind the foot pegs. The second part of that, it has to go together though, is your head has to go over the bars. Knees behind your foot pegs and head over the bars. That is all you have to do to go from C class to A class. Your comfortability in riding will drastically increase as you perform those 2 techniques. I used to have a really hard time, and I'll probably put pictures up on the screen right now of me riding out of that position, and it's actually in some of my recent videos. The point is to have complete control of your dirt bike and not just go fast, because if you're just going fast, you'll crash, just like I have in the past. So you don't want to just go fast. You want to go fast and control. I'm going to put on screen right now 2 photos. It's going to be this one first. You guys can't see it, but it'll be on the screen. This one. My head is behind the bars. You can see I look like horrible. I look horrible, but I'm standing up. I look horrible though. My knees are not behind the foot pegs, that's what that white line is, as well as my head is very scrunched up, and my back looks like this. I need to get my back to here. This photo enunciates exactly what you should be looking for within your body position, and that's it. Just do that, and you will go from C class to A class. A class and above is everything I'm working on at the current moment. It's all the specific techniques that I need to invest a ton of time into. Now I might sound absolutely crazy, right? Only 2 habits to increase my skill level from C class to A class? Now, this is where I'm going to start discussing a little bit into theoreticalness and into what I have been thinking through, what I've discovered, what I've observed from the world around me. You can go see exactly what I'm talking about for yourself if you go pick any skill and go look at the skill curve and the amount of time invested. Imagine down here on the X we have our skill level, and imagine over here on the Y is our time investment. Time investment and our skill level are going to stay very, very low. Skill is going to come here. It's going to come like this. We've hit C class here. B class is here. And we get this little from here to here. It's shorter than C to B. Now as we come up, this is in our time investment. We have significant more in time investment for a lot less skill acquired, because these skills require specific repetition of techniques and specific like micro detailing all the way down to getting better at these techniques that very few people have put in the time and effort to get them. As we're here on the graph, here to here is going to be about as long as here to here. This is the postulate that I'm going to put down for our dirt bike riding and dirt bike skill. I know it sounds crazy, but I've seen it in different things, you know, like we got video games, photography, we've got video games, we got video editing, we construction work, we have everything. Like, where you get it is the time investment to outcome, basically, is what we're looking at. Same reason why when we're talking about video games, your skill progression, hear me out real quick. If everyone that's played video games, you know exactly what I'm talking about. When you're at level 1 to level 2 is like 500, maybe even 100 experience points. Level 9 to level 10 might be like 10,000. But in total, the total amount of experience points from level 1 to level 9 was 10,000. But level 9 to level 10 is 10,000. This is one of the basis for what I believe is this exponential graph that we see with time investment and skill output and output, outgain, everything received from the time investment up that graph. That is what I think we can take out of, you know, video games. We can take out of it skills if we just look at it like that. 2 habits that you need to have to go from C class to A class is going to be knees back and head over the bars. Knees back, meaning knees behind the foot pegs. Put your head over the bars or in front of the bars while your knees are still back. They both have to be together to work. If you guys enjoyed the video, click the like button. It helps me a lot. It helps me to keep making these videos for you guys. Click the subscribe button if you want to keep to date on everything that's going on. And if you guys have any questions or anything you want to say, hit it in the comments down below. I will see you guys in the next video. Let's get out of here.